Hi, welcome along to the Social Club, which is taking place today at Ball Street South here in London. We're the Liverpool mob. You know, I always get on a train, jump in my car, get up there to Liverpool. Where is Paul? That's what I want to know. Where are you, mate?
You're not going to get an answer now.
Well, listen, we're going to crack on with the show. I've got a great panel with me today. I've got James from Ball Street. How you doing, James?
Good, mate. Yeah, good.
Nikki from West Ham Fan TV, and Flav.
Fighting cock.
That's it. Tottenham fan, you know, also from Ball Street as well. We've got Flav in the building as well. And I'm going to kick off today by starting with this topic. Paul Pogba. Now, we've seen him in the Euros. He looks a fantastic player, by the way. But today we got like a valuation on him. Manchester United, Real Madrid, both interested in him, but they're saying that £100 million is what he will cost if any of those teams want to sign him. I mean, James, what do you think to that? Too much?
That's a tricky one, isn't it? I mean, I think it depends on the club. So yeah, his agents come out and said that they're at least going to have to break the world record for him, and hit that 100 million mark. I'm not sure. I don't think I've been that impressed with him so far in the Euros. I thought he had an all right half against Switzerland when Payet wasn't playing. I felt like he was a bit better when he was on his own. He has been awesome for Juventus, and he's 23. But 100 million is a hell of a lot of money.
In the game against Republic of Ireland, though, you know, when he started to turn on the motor, I mean, he's so powerful, he's so quick, he's so strong. You can see why he's such a top player.
Yeah, I mean, what do you guys think? How much is that a fair valuation? Like, what's 100 million worth now?
In today's market, I think it's more than fair. I think he's a complete player. I watched him a few France games. He doesn't give the ball away. He's strong. He runs with it. He's controlling. He can pick a pass. He's just a complete player. I think if you look at valuations around the world, like Bale, I think he's a level above Bale. Like Bale,
you think he's a level above Bale?
I think that's honestly, no, I do. I think he's a level above Bale. I just think he's complete. Bale's a good player, but I think Pogba can do everything.
Do you think Bale would have got Wales as far as... Sorry, would Pogba have got Wales as far as Bale?
Different type of players, yeah.
But look, 100 million, the transfer fees they're not relevant. It is how long he's on, how long his contract is. He's going to be 50 million plus because he's probably worth around 50 million pound. But if he's in a long contract at a decent club, you've got to pay. You've got to pay over the odds. So
you got to think
he's 23, isn't he?
Yeah, he's 23, right? Only 23. He's a captain of France as well. Remember that. And that position, that midfield position, when you've got a player like that who can they're so commanding. I mean, that is a rarity as well nowadays.
He is a very, very special player.
Yeah.
And you can just see he hasn't had a brilliant Euros.
No.
There's been he's always a part of it, but he hasn't kind of tore it up in the way that you might have expected him to. But you see him playing for Juventus. Some of the goals he scored, and it's not just scoring goals from range. It's the technique and the way he strikes the ball. It's just beautiful. It's art. He's an incredible player to watch. He's confident and cocky with it, but you have to be the best, unless you're someone like Messi, who's quite a humble guy. But Pogba is amazing, and he's a specimen.
That type of midfielder, who would you say, right, 100 million? Who would you look at right now and say is better than him?
I think that's a really good point.
Playing in that sort of position, because if we're trying to see the valuation, 100 million, they're obviously saying he's the best there. Is there anybody better than him?
As a driving force in centre midfield?
Driving force, because he's got everything. He can pass, he can tackle.
I would say, I might say Iniesta.
A very different kind of player.
Different type, doesn't he? Iniesta.
In terms of controlling a game, I haven't... He has done it for Juventus, but he hasn't controlled a game yet. That's one thing I would say. And that is worth a lot of money. Somebody can do that.
I think he dictates the play. It's not about just controlling the play. He gets his foot on the ball. His range of vision is amazing. He can shoot. He can tackle. You know, he's the person that they look to. He's the hub. Everything.
It's definitely the main man. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can't think of a player like him in world football. You got there's fantastic attacking players like Ronaldo, Bale, Messi. Great midfielders like Iniesta. Xavi was one. But I can't think of someone at this minute in time that is a complete package.
So
Yeah.
he's worth it, surely.
Of course he is.
Would you say he's worth it?
He's
If
like-
Probably the way the market is now, and certainly for a Premier League team, I would say yes. He's said himself that he'd probably want to go to Barcelona. Real Madrid and Man United are two that really want him. Here's a question for you: Where should he go? Forget money for a second. Where should he go? Because another one is, how great would it be if he was at PSG? They need another new main man. He's a French guy.
I think he'd be
that would be
wasted at PSG in that league. He'd be wasted.
possibly, yeah. But as
I'd love him at Arsenal, but you've got to say Real Madrid or Barcelona.
He's got the world at his feet. At this moment in time, he could go anywhere. He could open a door tomorrow and there'd be a line of clubs waiting to take him. There's always a risk that if you go to a new club and a new country, like Spain, that you might not hit the ground running and his value might drop a little bit and his sort of confidence might go. He knows Manchester. He's lived there. He's played there.
Yeah, that's true.
He knows the club. He knows the people around the club.
As a show of how much he believed in himself, he left Man United because they didn't play him. Ferguson thought he wasn't ready, and he said, "Well, I'm going to go somewhere where people value the player that I am and will be." So he went to Juventus. One other player that also did that was Souness at Tottenham back in would have been, I don't know, 70s or so.
Yeah.
He knocked on Bill next door and said, "You're not playing me," and he was an 18-year-old kid. So it just shows his faith in himself, and you've got to be some player to go and demand against Alex Ferguson and say, "You've got to put me in this team, and if you don't, I'm going to leave." So that's the kind of player he is, and that's the kind of mental state. And people might think, "Oh, he's an arrogant prick," or something like that, but there's something else. When you go into football, you have to go to a football pitch and you've got to perform in front of people. You need that level of confidence.
Yeah. It's like Ronaldo. He is an arrogant prick, but you take him. You take him.
Yeah. So what do you guys think? Is Paul Pogba worth £100 million? And if he isn't worth £100 million, which midfielder out there similar to him is better than him right now? Leave it in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to Ball Street, and we'll be back in a minute with another show.